Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Rome School at Home. Join Dr. Francesca Hurst as she takes us through her quarantine series, A Daily Dose of Piano.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Francesca Hurst and I'm on the piano faculty here at CUA. I was very excited when I was asked to participate in this Concerts at Home series. And instead of playing something new for you, I decided I wanted to share with you guys something that I did during the pandemic earlier this year. So in March, after school was transferred to being totally online, I had the idea to start recording videos and sharing them online. And originally I thought I was going to play a set of Schubert waltzes. There were 33 of them, and I thought each day I'll do one of these waltzes. I've always wanted to learn them. And so the first day was a Schubert waltz, but by day 2 I had already decided I wanted to do other pieces. And this series ended up being a total of 100 days of piano pieces. Each day I recorded something new and put it online and talked about it. And it was a wonderful experience. I got to meet lots of new composers, virtually of course, that I would have probably never met before, and played lots of new music. I got to premiere 14 different pieces, in addition to playing some of my favorites from growing up, and some lovely classical pieces like the Schubert waltzes, and also a lot of other new music. So I decided for this concert at home to kind of take a trip down memory lane and to introduce some of the favorite videos that I've done from Daily Dose of Piano. Now there were way too many for me to choose to fit into this 20 to 30 minute time frame that I was given, so I hope that you will go to the playlist on YouTube and kind of search around and see what you can find. There are many different types of pieces, and hopefully you'll find something that you like. Each video includes an explanation of the piece, sometimes of my connection to the composer or to the piece itself. But today I wanted to introduce some of these pieces to you again, afresh, anew, and just to give you a little taste of this series that I did earlier this year. The first piece I want to share with you today is Yearbook by Matthew Green. So Matthew was a senior last spring at the University of Delaware, and his composition professor, who's a friend of mine, messaged me when she saw I was doing this series and asked me if I would like to play some of his pieces. He had this set of 3 pieces for piano, and they were all written kind of within the last year of his college experience, and they're all really beautiful. I chose one Yearbook, the third of the piece, to play for you today. It's this piece that has these, it expresses emotions that I've definitely felt before, but even today I wouldn't be able to put into words. Kind of a mix of nostalgia and sadness and bittersweetness and just a happiness at the same time. I hope you'll see what I mean when you listen to this performance. So this is Yearbook by Matthew Green. That was day 38, Matthew Green's Yearbook. The next piece I've decided to share with you is a piece by British composer Charlotte Botterill. Charlotte wrote a series of pieces during the pandemic called Isolation, and they all reflect different moments that she experienced during what was a very difficult time for all of us. Each piece in this series that she composed has a week, the weeks that she was counting of having to be in quarantine or isolation at home, and also the date. So this piece that I chose today is called Twilight, and it's week 4, 16th of April. I featured several of these pieces in the Daily Dose series because they all spoke to me. They're very small, but they're really beautiful, and I really recommend you checking out her other pieces. There's one called Sun Shines and Birds Sing, and you can hear the sun shining and the birds singing. It's wonderful. So this is Twilight by Charlotte Botterill. One of the things that I loved about that piece, Twilight, was the improvisatory style that Charlotte achieved. Kind of like you were just sitting down at the piano and playing whatever came to mind. The next piece that I've chosen is another piece written in an improvisatory style. This piece is by my friend and colleague Armando Baiolo. This is called Bientirada Esta, and it's from a series of 80 miniatures that Armando wrote for a chamber ensemble. This is the only one of the 80 pieces that's for piano solo. And this is from a series that we premiered last year called Los Caprichos. They're based on a set of 80 sketches that Francisco Goya drew. And this is just, it's a great piece. It's kind of imagine sort of a smoky lounge and maybe seeing characters through the smoky haze while you're sipping on a cocktail. I hope you enjoy. This next piece is called Imprint by Julia Mermelstein. I was so excited to learn this piece because Julia put choreography in the score of the music. As someone who did many, many years of ballet and other types of dance, I couldn't wait to learn a piece where I got to do choreography and dance while I was playing the piano. I loved playing this piece. Teresa Procaccini is an Italian composer who I had the honor of meeting and spending a day with several years ago in Rome. She also happens to be one of the former professors of Simeone Tartaglione, our orchestra conductor at CUA. This is the second movement from a sonata that she wrote called Sonata in Trichromia, or Sonata in Three Colors. It refers to a printing process that uses the layering of three colors. I came across this piece when I was perusing her music, and this melody of the second movement just continued to stick with me. As I was practicing this before recording it, I would find myself singing this melody all day long. It's very haunting and beautiful, and I loved this movement. Hope you enjoy. This next piece is called An Inchworm Converts to Metric. It's a piece by Daniel Dorff from a set called The Day Things Went Wrong at the Pet Store, 11 Cartoons for Piano. I met Daniel at New Music Delaware, where I got to play a fantastic piece that he wrote for saxophone and piano. But it was very fun to explore some of his solo piano music. I loved this piece, first of all, because of the title, and I love inchworms, although I hate most other creepy crawlies. This piece was surprising to me because even though it's only 1 page long, it has so many different qualities and expressive moments and changes of character. I think the inchworm was having a pretty difficult time converting to metric. Not only am I on the faculty at CUA, but I'm also an alum, as I did my graduate studies there. I have many friends that I've met over the years, other CUA alum, who are fantastic musicians and composers. This next piece is by a CUA alum, Alec Davis, and it's called Sitting in Solitude. This piece is supposed to be for the left hand alone, but Alec gave me permission to use my right hand here and there when he wanted the sonorities, all of the notes in the chords, to be played at the same time because I couldn't quite reach some of them. This was another piece where the melodies got stuck in my head for days as I was working on it. During the pandemic, a group of composers got together in England virtually to curate sets of piano music that people were composing and sharing with the world online for free. They would put the score out there, and anyone who wanted the score could go and download it from the internet. I found a few of the pieces that I put on Daily Dose of Piano from this collection, and this next piece is one of them. It's called Play Me, and it's by Alex Ho. And it's dedicated to all the pianos in London that are sitting on the street corners that are available for people to play. You know, those crappy old uprights. You may have seen them in cities in the United States or abroad, where you don't even need to use the pedal because it sounds like the pedal is always down, notes don't work, it's terribly out of tune. And so this is a fun piece that Alex wrote, inspired by those broken old pianos. I wanted to thank you for coming on this journey with me as I looked back over some of my favorite Daily Dose videos. There were so many videos that I wasn't able to include today just due to time constraints. And so I hope you're able to go and take a look at the YouTube playlist and listen to some more of the music that is featured there, because there are so many wonderful composers who are featured and whose music you may not have heard before. And you'll definitely find some old favorites as well: Schubert, Chopin, Bartók, Bach, and Brahms, many more composers. But to close today, as kind of a goodbye, at least for now, I chose a piece by our orchestral conductor, Simeone Tartaglione, also a friend of mine, called Ninna Nanna. Ninna Nanna in Italian means lullaby, and this is a delightful small piano miniature that he composed, and I love the melody. It's a beautiful little piece, and so I thought it was appropriate to close our concert today with this little musical goodbye, and good night.